Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Slay. I'm going to go ahead and take this rare opportunity to show you the F-86 Sabre. It's a Northrop Grumman aircraft. Is used mostly during the Korean War. It's a beautiful, beautiful plane. As you'll see here on its stats, it's got the altitude performance. That's 2,800 meters. Rate of climb 67. It's not the greatest rate of climb, but man, it can play around up there. Maneuverability, it's nothing to slouch at. It's got 9-second average time to turn, which is pretty dang fast. And as for airspeed, its top speed at its best altitude is 1,000. So it's a very fast aircraft. The only thing kind of lacking on it is the 650s it has on it. But as I'm going to demonstrate this game, those 650s are enough to get the job done. So let's go ahead and fire this up without further ado, and we'll demonstrate the F-86. And apparently it has legs. If you'll see here, those are the alternate landing gear. It's very unique to this aircraft. You definitely can't find it anywhere else. When the tires blow out, it looks like your feet are there to rely. It's kind of like the Fred Flintstone of the World of Warplanes 2.0. It's pretty comical. Alrighty, firing this up. That bug there, that glitch with the feet coming out of the aircraft, that's from the Skies of Albion event. Gives you a unique hangar that has some fighters and planes crashing around you. It's very glitchy, very buggy. It's nice, you know, for ambience, but definitely kind of funny in the things that it'll display on your aircraft. But again, this is the F-86. It is one of my favorite tier 10 that I have. Might not quite be my favorite tier 10, but if I want a pretty solid game, I usually fire it up and play this one. The F-86 again is lacking in firepower with its 650s, but with universal ammo, they're enough to just really put the hurt on most things that you're trying to take out. Especially with its speed and altitude, you can get behind most heavies, most bombers, and just shred them down pretty fast. So it's a really fun plane to play. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite aircraft in this game. I drive by one every day when I go to work, and I've actually had the rare chance to paint one of these, kind of do some restoration on it. So it's a plane that's kind of near and dear in my heart. Always wanted one, and I was glad that I grinded out in this game. The previous plane to it, the FJ1, is no slouch either. It's got the same 650s, and it's really just a slightly lesser version of this plane. This F-86 just takes everything the FJ1 Fury does and just does it better. But that's not to discount anything the FJ1 can do. The FJ1 is a great plane. So once we get in here, looks like it's going to take a couple minutes, then we'll go ahead and fire this up. Now comparing it to the LA-15 or the Yak-30, this plane kind of is going to get outturned, especially when you're facing the Yak-30. The Yak-30 is the best turner in the game for tier 10. The LA-15 slightly behind the F-86, but it's no slouch either. They're all pretty similar though. Don't let the big numbers fool you. There's been times where I've gone to jump on a Yak-30 and it's ended up in my favor many times. So with the Skies of Albion event, just like my other videos, you'll see mostly facing bots, and unfortunately for them, there is only 3 tier 10s, but if you'll look here, I'm joined by 2 other F-86s, and beautiful formation there. Let's go ahead and demonstrate what this plane can do and why you may want to grind it. I mean, who wouldn't love this? Look at that mouth. Look at this paint scheme. It is a really beautiful aircraft. It's kind of like the fighter of all fighters in my opinion. It's definitely, in the right hands, this plane could just kind of dominate the skies. So, kind of big map here. I'm going to go ahead and just zoom to the command center here. That way I can free up the bots there. So as you'll see, I boosted out, and I'm only going about 850, which, you know, is nothing to slouch at, but I'm not sitting at its preferred altitude of 2500. But again, this thing can come up here and play with the heavies, which are non-existent on this cap. So I'm going to drop down and just look at what that other F-86 is doing to his Spit. Me and him combine, the Spitfire is going to die. He's dead. So now let's get on the other one. And we are just too fast for these things. If you'll see, no slouch in the turning department. Got right behind the Spitfire. He tried to do a scissor maneuver, and I was able to just get right back on target. So now that the planes are dead, as you have no ordnance, I'm going to leave this. We just capped it. I'm going to get to the middle. Most likely at the middle, I'm going to find some ground pounders from the red team. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. They have a BVP 212. It's good tier 9. And there's the 1099 B2s. So those are really good tier 9 German attack aircraft. And they're quite impressive for how quick they can cap something. So I'm going to demonstrate this thing's altitude performance. You'll notice I'm climbing. I'm at 2,000 now. No problem getting behind this Hornet, staying on him, and just loitering behind him with my guns. And that's where the strength is of this aircraft. He's slightly pulling away now that I'm at altitude, but just some boost keeps me right on his tail. It's a very, very fun aircraft to play for what you can do in it. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to do a lot yet. I don't want to go by. You don't want to go attacking an airfield by yourself in this thing. That's for sure. Let's see what it can do to a J7W2 tier 9. Coming head on with me. What he's doing is typical bot maneuver. Those J7W2s though, if they get behind you, they will pick on you. They hurt. They really hurt. Those 430s will just make things disappear, much like this one behind me is trying to do. 9, able to maneuver and get behind him and quickly just watch him disappear. Me and that other F-86 just did. Got some on my tail still. There is another no, sorry. That's the KI. KN 162-3, which is another good aircraft. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It's very fast. It's very maneuverable. But I want to say in a turning battle, the F-86 has got this. And bot just straighten out, so it gives me time to just get on him and just kind of loiter behind him. You know, these guns, they're not going to do crazy amounts of damage, they just do enough to really piss off your target. As you saw there, the range of the guns is not a lot, but man, this thing, if you just want an average, you know, thing that's good at all, jack of all trades, master of none, can't really find a better plane than the F-86. Now, I am by no means an amazing F-86 player. There's people who will get in this aircraft and just work wonders in it. But for what I've played, I have a pretty decent win rate in it, sitting around 70%. And it's just an all-around fun plane to play. Just saw something pass under me. What is that? It's a heavy.
We have control of all airfields in this
superiority.
Area. Tactical superiority achieved.
My aircraft is on fire. I've got something on my tail. And it is the TA. So just shake him off real quick. Get back on him. And he's going to disappear. He's just fast enough, but not quite fast enough. So here's that heavy again, trying to sneak up behind me, this ME-262, which you won't see me catch up to that guy. Those things are so impressive with their speed. But I'm going to show you what you can do and how you can just stay with him. You know, he could run away, but at some point he has to turn around and try to deal with me. And if he does, you're going to be there just enough to annoy him and shake him off. He's going low, which is definitely not where a 262 should be going. Yeah, but he just disappeared. I have the help of my heavy there. That 262 is just really fast. So now back on this KI, he's coming head on with me. Who's going to win in a head on? Probably him if he was in the hands of a player. But this thing, again, it's not the fastest aircraft. That KI with its twin motors on its back is faster, but this thing can really get on the backs of something and just kind of sit there, turn fast enough to be annoying as crap. There he goes. He just disappeared.
Victory is close.
Not having that impressive of a game. I've been doing a lot of defending, but it's just enough to, get out here and enjoy myself in this aircraft. There's that BVP-212 I mentioned earlier in the game, and the game is over. It was an easy win. Very mediocre game, though, unfortunately. But that is the F-86 Sabre. It's just a very versatile all-around aircraft. It doesn't have the greatest of anything, but it does just enough to make it a really good plane. And definitely in the hands of a better player, that thing can do work. I've seen 20k combat scores in this thing, pretty reasonably. I'd say of the times that I've seen it, um, definitely I've seen probably about maybe once or twice in the 10 times I've seen them. So let's go ahead here, look at the score. I probably made not that much credits. Superiority, unfortunately, ends the game too fast. But 50k credits, 11.9k experience because it's times 3. Let's look at the player scores. The other F-86 didn't really do so well, but the other guy did really well. El Mulo, shout out to you, with his 6,300 score. But again, that's the F-86. It's just an impressive aircraft. Definitely worth the grind down if you ever want to just have something that's super fun. The American line is typically the weaker of the fighters in this game, but this thing is no slouch. As you saw, your 650s are not strong guns at all, but you have just the right amount of airspeed and maneuverability to loiter behind somebody and just kind of ruin their day. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and if this video was helpful to you, please give it 2 thumbs up. Thank you.